Ross Coulthart says that the United States government and other governments are hiding advanced technology, even energy that could revolutionize the world. They are sitting on this and not sharing it with the public. So let's talk about it. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I'll talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, here's Ross.
Increasingly convinced that the United States and other countries are sitting on strong evidence of breakthrough technologies, not just propulsion systems, but also energy systems that could revolutionize how we use energy on this planet.
Okay, absolutely, Ross, 100%. He goes on then to talk about the psionics program that utilizes kids and the bad things that happen there, which is a very good point, and it sounds like that's going to be a focus of his research. But as to his comments about the United States government and other governments sitting on advanced technologies, yeah, they seem to be doing that. They seem to have been doing that for a long time. Some of this is alien technology that's been, reverse engineered from crashed UFOs, seemingly. As unlikely as that sounds, as everybody likes to draw the comparison, could a caveman reverse engineer an iPhone if time traveler, left their iPhone in the past? So, what are the odds that we have successfully reverse engineered these craft? How much of this actually was gifted by the beings themselves? I have shown quite a number of evidence, a number of pieces of evidence that the UFO control group has been working with the beings for many years. And they, humans will assist in abductions even. But the beings have directly helped the United States at least, out with some technology. Here is an interview with Don Phillips, who was a Lockheed Martin Skunk Works engineer, Air Force guy, CIA guy, I believe, a very inside guy who says that although he didn't work directly with the beings, he had friends that did. His baby was the SR-71 Blackbird. And so we're talking about, late 50s, early 60s, that era is when my research suggests that indeed the UFO control group at that time was working with beings, if they weren't before, but it got serious then and there was an exchange or a gifting of technology. Here's a little bit of what Don had to say.
That as far as the validation of these, what we call these little beings, the engineer that did some work for the military was asked if he'd like to do a special project, and it was in New Mexico, and it was to build a trainer, if you will, flight trainer, and he built the flight trainer. He's a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, and through the process of building, he discovered that he was to work with some other people. After it got to a certain point, the other people came out, and they were these little guys. Not much, kind of startling because they're all, short people, but very, very intelligent, like very intelligent children, super intelligent children. And pretty soon it became like just us sitting here. And what they were building was a trainer for us to learn how to fly their craft. It's a very interesting approach.
And Don Phillips isn't the only person to speak about such matters. Per Grok, we have John Andrews, a Lockheed engineer and reportedly a close friend of Ben Rich, the second director of Skunk Works. Andrews is less prominent than Don Phillips, but is cited in UFO literature for supporting ET technology claims. Andrews allegedly confirmed a conversation with Ben Rich where Rich stated, "There are two types of UFOs, the ones we build and the ones they build. We learn from both crash retrievals and actual hand-me-downs. The government knew until 1969 took an active hand in the administration of that information. After a 1969 Nixon purge, administration was handled by an international board of directors in the private sector. Yeah, interesting. There's this Nixon purge. Nixon seemed to enjoy the UFO or alien topic. He got his buddy Jackie Gleason over to view some alien bodies, at least according to that story, and I actually believe that story. But there was some sort of purge. Interesting. If you guys know more about that, let me know. He claimed that nearly all biomorphic aerospace designs were inspired by the Roswell spacecraft, from Kelly's SR-71 Blackbird onward to today's drones, UCAVs, and aerospace craft. These statements suggest Skunkworks not only reverse engineered crashed UFOs, but also received direct technological transfers from ETs, with oversight shifting to a private international group post 1969. Very interesting. There is definitely a global involvement of the UFO control group, or rather, the UFO control group is a global group, but there are regional factions and stuff like that. It's really hard to make sense of by design. They have kept that information from us. Context and sources. Andrew's claims are, well, anyway, it's going to get into the critical notes and all that kind of stuff. Then, of course, you have Ben Rich. Rich is frequently cited alongside Phillips and Andrews in these discussions, and we've all heard the Ben Rich quotes about taking ET home. Yeah, we now have the technology to take ET home, and we already have the means to travel among the stars. But these technologies are locked up in black projects, and it would take an act of God to ever get them out to benefit humanity. And of course, there's Bill Uhouse, former U.S. Navy pilot and mechanical engineer who claimed to have worked as a contractor for the U.S. government at Area 51. Uhouse stated in a 2000 interview that he worked at Area 51 in the 1950s and 60s on reverse engineering ET technology from a UFO crash in Kingman, Arizona in 1953. He claimed J-Rod was a surviving ET from this crash, described as a tall, slender gray alien with large almond-shaped eyes and grayish skin. According to Uhouse, J-Rod was housed at Area 51 and assisted U.S. scientists and engineers in understanding alien technology, particularly propulsion systems in flight simulators, which is much of what Don Phillips was talking about, these simulators, the training machines. He said, J-Rod sounded just like you when communicating, presumably via telepathy or translation, and tried to answer questions about his technology. Anyway, I'm not going to go into a whole big Bill Uhouse J-Rod story. I've talked about that, and many others have talked about that. And I've talked about Don Phillips and Ben Rich before, and that's just one vein of evidence. But there's other veins, like I say, abductees, contactees, seeing the men in black, the control group, military and government officials, working alongside the beings, sometimes in environments that seem more human than alien. So yeah, we have this technology, we have for a long time. It's really strange that we continue to, tinker with recovered UFOs, like what Bob Lazar was doing, when we have operational craft. So that makes me think there are many layers to this onion, and some outer layers aren't aware what those inner layers are doing. But let me know your theories. Either way, I'm really glad that Ross is speaking out about this. Obviously an important topic, and if we could get those energy applications up and running, if we could get 0-point energy out to the public, or at least some form of, clean new energy to the public, that would revolutionize the world. Obviously, it would not help the energy sector that exists today very much. It would dismantle existing power structures, or at least transform them greatly. So, maybe there is a way to do that, a more softer way to do that doesn't, destroy the economy. because I'm sure that concerns over that may be a big part of why this hasn't been unrolled, along with, people in power losing some of that power. So, if there is a way to do it in a softer way that would not antagonize them so much, maybe it would get done faster. Or maybe we just need to rip the Band-Aid off and give the world free energy. So let me know what you think about that, about the claims of advanced propulsion and other technologies that the U.S. government and others may be sitting on. Let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.